about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. I kind of missed a couple days of shooting some videos. Been real busy lately between work and just other things going on, but I figured I'd make a video today, show you how the goats are doing, how all the other animals are doing, and something new that I'm trying out. So y'all stick with us and check out what we got going on. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you what new we got going on here at the farm before we check up on the animals. If you've seen my past videos, I talk about pasture rotation, trying to get away from parasites a good bit. And also, I want to enhance my pastures as far as grass and everything. I don't want to overgraze things. So I'm trying something new now. If you can see behind me, I've got a high tensile fence. Not a high tensile, sorry, poly wire fence. What this is, I've got 3 strands. One's about 6 inches off the ground, the other one's about 12 inches, and then I've got one a little bit higher for the horses. I've actually been doing this for about 2 weeks now. I kind of want to test it out before I make a video on it. But the goats were on this side last week. I left them on there for about 4 or 5 days. They ate what they wanted to eat, and then I moved them on to this side. They're back there behind me, and now I'm moving the horses in. The horses are up there by the water trough. But I'm moving them in behind the goats to kind of clean up the parasites, to clean up the grass that the goats didn't eat. And in a couple days, the goats will move to another pasture behind me, and I'll split it up as well. And the horses will be moving on where the goats were. So kind of what it is, I've just got these temporary step-in posts stretched across this pasture. And then I went and bought a reel that locks, that I can stretch my wire out, pull it tight, and hook it onto the fence. I'm not going to show you how that reel works. The fence is hot right now. I don't want to get shocked, but it's something we're trying out. It's worked so good so far. The goats haven't really tested that. They got shot a couple times, and actually I kind of wired up some aluminum cans on that wire to start off with. I was hoping to get the goats curious in that aluminum can, get them shocked so they know that fence is hot. So like I said, I haven't had any trouble with them getting through. They actually didn't want to cross it whenever I cut the fence off and laid it down to move them in this upper pasture. So it's working out well so far. We'll just keep trying it and see how it does. I'm hoping that I can get a whole lot more pasture rotations with it. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 pastures, and using this method, I can break everything up into about 10 pastures. That's giving me a lot more rest on the grass that they just came off of, breaking that life cycle of the parasite, and also allowing those plants to not get overgrazed and getting eaten down so bad. So it's working out well. This pasture right here, I think I'm gonna start splitting into 3 pastures. This one over here, I'm gonna do the same thing, and that's where they're gonna be going in next. And I might even try to do even smaller pastures and just rotate them more often. I've got one of those little bottle babies that we were feeding a while back at my feet. I guess we'll go on and talk about the goats. Everybody's doing good. Everybody is off of grain now. I'm no longer feeding anybody on creek feeder. There's a lot of green grass, a lot of nutrients out there that they need to provide for themselves now. So we're off of grain at least until we start preparing for breeding season, or it gets real cold and I don't have much forage for them to eat. But as far as sheep, where's she at? She's back here behind me. This was the nanny that we had a lot of trouble with the coccidia. She's still got a little poop on her rear end, but she hasn't had diarrhea in quite a while. And this is her 2 babies standing here by my feet. They're wanting something to drink, but they're not getting any more. They've been off of milk or milk replacer for about 6-7 days now. Sheep's taking care of them well. She's letting them eat. Her bag's back full. She's hydrated again, so that's good. The other 2 new babies, they're up here. Our last 2 babies of kidding season. They look really good. They're filling out good. They got a really good mama, and they're a little skittish. They're not gonna let me get too close to them, but we'll get up here by them. that's them right there. They're doing really well. They're growing fast. I'm very happy with them. Happy with that mama. And all the other goats, they're doing good. Everybody's kind of slicking off for the summer. Got a couple with a couple rough coats, and might be considering culling them. Rough coats means parasite load most of the time, so we'll just kind of have to watch them, make sure they slick off. It's going to be 80 degrees this week, so if they don't slick off in the next week or so, we know it's a parasite issue, not just the animal itself. All right, so guess that's it up here by the goats. I did want to show you this. So this is where my pigs were, and it was a muddy mess, and we didn't get any rain for about 3-4 weeks. So I went in here the other day and I plowed it, and I planted some radishes. I know it's kind of late for radishes, but I'm hoping to get something going there, something for the goats to eat, and just something to cover that ground up, help it heal. We should be getting some more pigs for too long, but I don't know if I'm gonna give them that much space to tear up anymore, and I don't think I'm gonna get as many pigs. We've got a lot of goats now, and honestly, I like the goats a whole lot more than the pigs, so we're probably just gonna run with the goats. Speaking of some more of the goats, I actually sold all my little billies except for 4 that were just born in the last couple weeks. So I sold 7 little billies on Saturday. I think I did all right on them. I got what I was asking, and they're at a happy new home. So wish the best for them, but we're glad it's 7 less mouths to feed. So I'm gonna make sure the water's good and everything. We'll go down to the other pasture, and I'll show you what billies I kept, and also we'll check out brisket. So other than the 4 little billies up front, these are the last 2 billies I have. Like I said earlier, I sold 7 from here off the farm on Saturday. This little guy right here is the one I decided to keep out of this year's breeding. To see how he grows, I like to keep one every once in a while and just kind of see how he grows. But he is absolutely a stud of a young buck. He's born in late November, so he's only about 7 months old now, 6-7 months old, and he's growing out really well, and I believe we're going to use him as a cleanup buck this year. Clifford over here, he's been around for a while. He's going to be the main breeding buck this year, but I've never used him as the sire of all my babies, so I kind of want a little bit of insurance in case he doesn't get the job done. I'm going to use this guy, and he is related to about 2 or 3 nannies that I have out there, but I'm gonna breed Clifford first. I'm gonna put Clifford in there for about 3 or 4 weeks by himself to see what he can get done, and then I'll put this little guy in there. We actually call him Tiny because he come out absolutely huge, and he's been huge ever since, so we call the huge guy Tiny. But over here we got old Brisket. Brisket's doing real well. He's starting to eat a little bit more feed. Every day he cleans his bowl, I give him a little bit more the next day. If he leaves any behind, I cut his ration back down. But he's starting to slick off. He's really starting to fill out. Still can't get my hands on him, but that's all right. He likes to kind of follow you around in the pasture and come up to you, but whenever you turn to go pet him, he takes off running. So he's doing real well. I'm pretty satisfied how he's growing so far. But he's got a while longer with us before he's about 1,000 to 1,100 pounds that we want to butcher. And so he'll be around with us for quite a while. So I know this wasn't our typical video, but I kind of wanted to give an update on everything that's been going on here at the farm since I didn't post a video last week. But I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed checking up on the animals with me, seeing what we got going on, and seeing our new little experiment with the poly wire fence and splitting up our pastures even more. So like I said, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and leave us a comment. I think we got some pretty cool stuff coming up, so you don't want to miss out. But like I said, I appreciate it, and we'll see y'all on the next one.